Okay. Travis Kramer.
Here.
Scott Corney.
Here.
Gordon McGee.
Here.
Jason Weesey is gone. Paul Kraus.
Here. The Open Meetings Act is posted on the wall. Item 4, consent agenda. John, I just had one question. What was McQueen Equipment?
That was for that air conditioner, for that.
Okay, all right. I didn't see anything unusual.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda as presented. There's no further discussion. Let's vote on that motion.
Scott Corney.
Aye.
Gordon McGee.
Aye.
Travis Kramer.
Aye.
Paul Kraus.
Aye. Approval of the minutes from July 12th, 2022 special meeting and July 18th, 2022 regular board meeting.
We do those as one item. I would need to abstain from that because I was not at this.
Let's just make 2 separate motions then.
Sorry.
We'll still have 3 to approve it, so let's do the first one for the special meeting.
For July 12th.
Yeah,
A motion to approve the minutes from the July 12th, 2022 special meeting.
Yeah, I'll second that.
we have a motion and a second to approve the special board meeting minutes from 7/12/22. If there's no further discussion, let's vote on that motion.
Travis Kramer.
Aye.
Scott Corney.
Aye.
Paul Kraus.
Aye. And the regular board meeting minutes from 7/18/22.
I'll motion to approve the 7/18/2022 regular board meeting minutes.
Yeah, I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second to approve the regular board meeting minutes from 7/18/22. If there's no further discussion, let's vote on that motion.
Gordon McGee.
Aye.
Travis Kramer.
Aye.
Scott Corney.
Aye.
Paul Kraus.
Aye. You want to move Mike up next? All right, Mike has another meeting in Fort Calhoun. They're waiting for him to come late, so we're gonna get him out here early. How's it going, Mike?
Good, how's it going with you guys?
Good. Anybody have anything? Mike, we made it through the fair all right, it seemed like.
Yes, it did. It went pretty smooth, to be honest with you. Bike rodeo, I thought there was a very good turnout. Nikki and you guys worked real hard on that. You guys did a great job.
Thank you.
Thank you for all of your help. That was awesome.
Now, Nikki, did you get the updated letter service thing I sent?
I did. Yes.
Okay,
I didn't get it in their packet, but I did get it. Thank you for that.
you bet.
Scott, do you know of anything you guys have for Sheriff Robinson?
Nothing in particular. Yeah, we got some good budget numbers, I guess, to work with and got the vehicle ordered and that's going according to plan, right?
Yes, I have to verify that tomorrow. I was told it was ordered. Just so you guys know, this may be the last one we're gonna be able to order on state bid. Everything I'm hearing through the national organizations like the National Sheriffs, International Chiefs of Police is that car manufacturers are not going to manufacture police package vehicles for the next couple of years. And have to be bought off the lot at retail cost. They are too far behind on manufacturing orders. They've already been placed by consumers.
That's surprising.
Yeah, it's surprising to me also. I can tell you that it's already affected the market. I did locate 2 black Chargers in Norfolk we can buy regularly, usually around 31,000 on state bid. And they want 40,000 for them. So it's really pushing the prices up on these vehicles. We should be locked in on yours though.
That's good news, I guess. Hopefully in 2 years or 3 years, when we need a new one, the market will be straightened out.
Exactly, exactly. Keep our fingers crossed.
All right, well, I don't think, does anybody else have anything for Mike? We appreciate you making the effort to get it to ours early. Thank you for your time.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for moving me up. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay. Unfinished business, item A, discussion and possible first reading of ordinance 671. My recommendation is we just move up the meetings, the price that board members and chairman get by $50 a meeting. And I think we should probably raise the stipend on the special meetings as well. We raised the special meetings from 50 to 75 or 50 to 60. I don't know what you guys think, but
When's the last time it was adjusted?
before I've been on the board,
I'm gonna say 2012.
I don't remember that changing when I was on board, but
Might have been 2008. It's been worth at least 10 years.
do we need to read, well, we'll need to read this whole page then, right? And put numbers in.
Yeah. Do you want the instructions?
Currently, the chairman receives 200 per regular meeting. The board of trustees receives 150 per board regular meeting. And then both receive $50 per special meeting. What do you guys think about 250 for the chairman, 200 for the board of trustees? And $60 or $75 a meeting for the special meetings.
And this wouldn't go in effect until,
Once you vote on this, you can't receive the raise until you've been reelected by the people.
okay,
Is my understanding of how that works. Does that sound right, Tim? That was my understanding of reading the wage, that part of it.
If you read it this month and the next 2 months, then it will go into effect after elections in November.
elections.
For everyone or just if you've been elected in November?
We might need to check into that. I don't know if it's only going to apply to the people that were elected this time. Because part of our board will be up for election. 3 seats will be up for election this fall.
Perhaps you could just say it's the first eligible. Figure out for sure when that is,
Okay.
when first eligible.
I don't know that we need to state anything in the ordinance about when. It's just, we'll figure that out when we look through there's no part in here to say when. So if someone wants to make a motion and fill in those blanks, I think we need to read that entire page of 47.
Is that the amounts we want? I
Yeah,
mean, compared to, seems like the chairman gets a little bit more. Are you happy with that, you think, or?
I think it's worth more for the extra work.
I'm just saying, do you want to bump the chairman's up a little more? Or
I
not?
think if we move both of them up $50 each, the chairman goes from, let's say, 200 to 250, and board members go from 150 to 200. I think that sounds fair to me. I don't know what you guys think.
saying you put up with a little more.
I think that still puts us in the range of a lot of other cities that we've compared to in that report. So it doesn't
Okay.
put us higher than a lot of them. It puts us in the middle, I think. So that first blank, I would say, would be 250 per regular meeting. The second blank would be 75 per special meeting. And then remaining board members receive 200 per regular meeting. Remaining board members receive 75 for special meeting. Unless you guys want to come up with different numbers.
Do you want me to read?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm fine with that, knowing that I wouldn't benefit from this anytime soon and maybe never. But I think it would help attract folks, or at least make it, rewarding for some of the future folks who would be on the board.
I think so. I think everything else is going up.
Different opinions.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
Okay with those numbers, Travis?
Yeah, just not excited about voting a race for
Yeah.
ourselves.
It feels awkward.
It never feels right.
Yeah, that's
I
why we
would
let
support
the
it.
people, that's why we let the people approve it at the polls.
Yep. You're right.
We need to do these 3 readings. I guess it doesn't have to be before the budget is approved because it's relatively.
No, but to read it before the elections, we would need to start tonight.
Okay.
We would have our first reading tonight, second reading in September, and third in October.
Okay. And looks like we're still probably even below a lot of the communities. In the
Yeah,
area.
it's really hard to compare apples and oranges. I mean, like Ashland, they probably have a little more on their plate than we do, and Oakland was a similar one. But I think that puts us right in the mix.
Well, we're good with that then.
Yeah.
So you go.
Sure, sure. Okay.
All right, I'll make a motion for the introduction, first reading and passage of ordinance number 671, which reads: an ordinance of the Village of Arlington, Washington County, Nebraska, fixing the salaries of the elected officers of the Board of Trustees of the Village of Arlington, Washington County, Nebraska, and fixing the time and payment thereof, and repealing all ordinances in conflict therein. Be it ordained by the chairman and the Board of Trustees of the Village of Arlington, Nebraska, Section 1, the trustees of the Village of Arlington, Nebraska shall receive the following salaries to wit: the chairman of the Board of Trustees shall receive the sum of $250 per regular meeting attended. The chairman of the Board of Trustees shall receive the sum of $75 per special meeting attended. The remaining members of the Board of Trustees shall receive the sum of $200 per regular meeting attended. The remaining members of the Board of Trustees shall receive the sum of $75 per special meeting attended. Section 2, all ordinances and parts of the ordinances passed and approved prior to the passage and approval of this ordinance and in conflict herewithin are hereby repealed.
Now, Tim, we don't need to vote until the third reading. Okay, so we just read it today and then we can move on. All right. Do we need a second on that motion?
Board member seconds the motion.
We need a second on the motion. Let's make sure we get a second on record.
I'll second the motion.
Okay. So we're good there. All right. Item B, discussion and possible approval of high-speed fiber internet service at the Village Hall, Library, and Auditorium. I see we've got some quotes. Are we still?
I think we need to do roll call vote just to be safe.
It does say roll call. Let's back up.
Yes, and roll call.
Let's just do it to be safe. I'd rather.
Yes.
Let's back up to item A, unfinished business. We have a motion and a second on the first reading of ordinance 671. Let's take a roll call vote.
Travis Kramer.
Aye.
Scott Corning.
Aye.
Gordon McGee.
Aye.
Paul Kraus.
Aye. All right. Okay, does anybody on the communication committee have anything to add to these estimates, or where were we at with the cable channel?
The one thing I would add to that is that I spoke with Greg today from Cox, and they can provide cable to all 5 of these TVs here at no charge. So,
And just make sure I understand that. So that's in line with what ABB
yes,
currently does.
correct.
And then ABB's price is slightly less than Cox pricing. $35, $36 less, I think it is, per month. Right?
$135.99 for Cox and $99 for ABB.
139, where,
$135
for fiber or for cable?
Fiber.
fiber internet. That's 100 meg.
Their
So it's-
cable runs on their fiber, so
But that's apples, to apples, same as ABB.
So the number for the 178 per month for, what does that number include? So their updated quote shows 178 per month.
did he say today if that was the government rate or was that? Did Matt send the wrong?
I think he may have sent the wrong information. Verbally, he told us that it was the $135.99 for 100 up, 100 down.
And then extra for the stations.
He just didn't get me updated numbers by the end of the day today.
ABB's quote is less expensive, I think, however, it would be packaged, from what I understand, right? Is that your understanding, Nikki? And one more point for the rest of the group. So Cox they haven't extended the line to the library yet. That would be, a bit of a project for them. And there could be additional costs for us that we may have to pay. Maybe not all of the costs, but there could be some additional costs to get the lines actually sent to the library.
Prohibitively expensive at this point.
Yeah.
$2,000.
Yeah.
He
And
said they have to run it again. It shouldn't be that much, but that's the number that they have today. So
so highly unlikely their price is going to come back and be less than what ABB is proposing. So
over there.
I'd like to do the board of the village hall as well as the library, get both of those installed. So let's have any other thoughts? I'll make a
No.
motion.
Yeah, sounds good.
We're ready to make a motion. Go with that. Get moving.
So I'll make a motion to accept the American Broadband quote for fiber internet service for the village hall as well as the village library for $99 per month plus, corresponding tax and fees and whatnot.
Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second for the approval of the ABB quote for internet service to the auditorium, library, and pool for $99 a month.
Well, the auditorium would be for $99 a month.
The auditorium, city office, library, and pool, yeah.
Their bid was for all 3.
For $99 each, right? So I would like just to do the library and the village hall. So it'd be-
Okay.
and the reason for that, we don't have internet service today at the auditorium. We don't have it at the pool. And I think we do Wi-Fi.
We do have it at the pool.
We have internet at the pool.
Yes.
ABB ran that for free for us.
Ah, okay.
Donated it, yes.
Donated it, yes.
Any idea if that donation continues?
They never said it didn't continue, so.
I just don't think we need to pay extra for the auditorium if we're right there at the library and we have Wi-Fi.
Can we run Wi-Fi from the library port to the auditorium?
That's
Is that what we're hoping?
That's what was quoted
Okay.
later in the.
Okay.
Perfect. Time together.
So the auditorium and the library is what you're including in your, or the village hall and the library is what you're including in your motion?
Yes.
All right. And that was your second.
That's what I seconded.
Thank you for clearing that up. I'm sorry. Wasn't paying attention there.
Last question, pricing based on a 12, 36 or 60-month commitment. Is there any reason why you pick one or the other? Was there anything discussed about, are we locking the prices in for 5 years? If that's the commitment? It's okay. I was just curious.
I don't know, they threw that on there because I asked if there was a time. And on there.
Okay.
So they threw that in there.
Yeah, I was just curious if we're committing to just.
But we don't assume that that's going to be a locked in price for any amount of time.
Well, I could get part of my motion and go with the 12-month option. So do that.
Now we'll second the 12-month option.
All right.
All right. If there's no further discussion or questions, let's vote on that motion.
Travis Summer,
I,
Scott Corney.
Aye.
Hi.
Paul Kraus.
Aye. Okay. New business communications committee report. What do you guys have on that? Anything other than
I don't have anything else. Yeah,
we're probably about done with that committee, aren't we?
I believe we are.
No.
Yes, I hope we are.
Trying to
All right. Streets, I know Jason and I haven't met this month on anything other than John and I walked some of these routes on the street repairs with Steve Parr from JEO. And he's included some budgeting estimates for us for our budget discussion. So those are in the packet. You guys can feel free to look at those. There's no action needed. A lot of good ideas there, I think, and hopefully we can make something happen. Connecting that in the future, so.
Separate engineering quote for the trail or estimate.
That wasn't in his pack.
There were two separate ones.
Were they in there? Okay, I didn't
Two
see.
separate ones.
Yeah.
Page 57.
That is in there. Okay, thank you. Sorry.
Meeting with them and the fair board. We had a member of the fair board there, and it's interesting to talk to them and see what we can get something going and all connect it. So yeah, unless anybody has any other questions on those estimates, they're just in there for your information. Let's look them over and then we can either add that to our budgeting numbers or there's no further discussion on that. We'll move to water and sewer. James.
Conference services last week. The guy who runs the crew on lining the main down there said that he will be in later this week or the beginning of next week to get that done.
Cool.
That's good.
Now that it started to rain, is that going to cause them any problems getting in and out, you think?
I don't think okay. I wanted to keep it running okay and
Mhm.
not throw any curveballs at it.
Okay. So these numbers might be a little compared to previous, yeah, all right. So don't get too excited then, huh, is what you're telling me.
I still think that we're doing much better than last year.
Yeah.
We'll know better come August, because as soon as they get this other pump in, I will open up or I'll close that bypass where everything is getting metered again.
Okay. Well, looking forward to getting the sewer lining done and getting those guys out here. Finally, they're pretty tough to get here, so I'm glad to see they're
They are
finally giving us dates.
way behind.
You know, anything else for James? You've got on here possibility.
To keep it
Yeah,
to where we're not getting behind on anything, so.
and normally I think that's just an announcement we make. There's no board action that needs to be taken. We just ask for voluntary restrictions and
Yep.
so, okay.
Yeah, I just wanted to kind of let you guys know where we were at on that.
Anything you noticed about the pool this year? I noticed they said they were putting less water in it at first and then it was, they were putting a little more in towards the end. Did you hear anything else about that, John?
No.
Anything you could track that you saw unusual or different? with the
No,
pool?
not really. I know I mentioned it at one of our meetings that I thought that might have been where the increase was in our water, but John was the smart one to bring up that we had a lot of breaks that year. So I'm sure that it was much more the breaks than it was the pool. So.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, yeah, keep us up to date on the sewer lining and thanks for coming.
Thank you.
All right. Item C, or you guys didn't have anything on your committee report. We already went through that part of the police. So item C, update on nuisance properties. What do you have for us, Nikki?
We sent out 10 follow-up letters just to people who we hadn't heard from or didn't get back to us with a plan. There were a couple of new ones that we didn't have last time. So overall, a lot of improvement around town on these properties. So
Okay. Is that what you're here for?
Yep. So the brush part of the pile gone. There is still a pile of split wood there. I don't believe that poses any fire harm any more than, you know, the tall grass down by the softball fields does, you know.
Well, I don't think stacked firewood is against our ordinances. We've got a nice looking firewood pile. Did anybody else want to?
The trailers. If you were the only one who at the time going to put the building in. I guess, you know, there's no tall weeds growing around them. You know, there's nothing, you know, it's not a mud hole. It's not, there's nothing there. Rock would benefit this in no shape, way, shape or form at all. And
It's not that we're trying to prevent anything. We're just trying to make sure everybody abides by the ordinances. Parked on a hard surface means rocks or pavement. So that's what we're asking.
is it spelled out? Where's that in the ordinance?
Did you have a copy of that in the letter? That part of the ordinance? It's, I mean, it's.
Here's what I was provided.
So right there, it says paved highways or other hard surfaced areas and that,
Or other hard surface areas.
so the rocks
I mean-
makes it a hard surface area is what
Okay.
we're getting at.
And it also says in here, nothing on the front side or rear of the lot. That is an empty lot. I mean, if I got a home in the middle, I'll home in the middle.
Except on paved driveways or other hard
But
surfaces.
that's, yeah, front side or rear.
Well, it shall be, okay. No motor vehicle as defined by the statute shall be parked in the front, side, or rear yard. So they're just saying any part of the yard unless it's on a paved driveway or other hard surfaced area. Now, the fact that you don't have a building on there anymore, I don't know that, Tim, do you see how that affects anything of the interpretation of parking on a hard surface?
I'm not familiar with this particular issue. I have to look at facts and
Yeah,
what the ordinance is that it's not, I don't think prepared to comment on that.
okay. My interpretation is she's just asking everybody to abide by the ordinances that we have, park trailers on hard surfaces, and you're certainly not the only one that's being asked to do that.
I mean, what is the benefit of this?
We also had a conversation where you agreed to do it.
No, I never agreed to do that. I agreed to pick up the brush pile.
Well, this is our interpretation of the rules. I don't know what else to tell you, why do we, I don't think that our job is to explain to you the meaning of every single statute that you don't agree with. So
My problem with it is this would all been avoided.
if you'd put rocks down parked on there, or
No, if everything would have followed the planning board last time, I put things in front of the board.
well, unfortunately, the board did not vote to allow you to have a building without a residence. And that's a whole separate matter. That's, I'm sorry you feel like that had something to do with this, but
Well, it does, because this would all be inside.
well, you could also build a residence on there and then you could put paved parking with your residence.
And that's all changed since I purchased the property too. I
Well,
mean, the ordinances on that,
do you have any questions on that we can answer?
okay, as far as that, what is the nuisance of the truck?
Is it parked on
It's-
a hard surface?
That's included in every vehicle parked on a hard surface as far as I can tell.
Okay. All right, okay, so then my other issue is that I have is that the alley has encroached on my property by a good 6 feet. Like that problem taken care of.
Okay,
That's a separate issue. If you want to bring that up, we can work on that.
Okay. well,
And I've
that's
seen
why I'm bringing it
the,
up.
I've seen the post in the alley and
That's why I'm bringing it up now.
that's something that we have to be prepared for and put on the agenda. This isn't the time for you to just come in and throw all kinds of random things out there. We're talking about the nuisance.
One area, yeah, I mean,
So we can try and address that down the road, but as far as discussion about that, I don't know the whys or the whats. I'm not prepared to answer anything on that alley. I've seen your problem and I acknowledge it. But
yeah.
I don't know what we can do right now, and we'll talk to John about that.
I mean, I don't know, it just,
and then before the next board meeting, I'll put it on the agenda.
this is just, it's extremely petty. There's a lot.
I'm sure it seems that way to you, but
It's not only to me.
we're trying to
It's,
treat everybody the same. We're trying to make sure everybody's following the rules. And this is in order for us to make sure that everybody feels better about our town and our town looks as good as it can. So if you don't feel that you're being treated fairly, I'm sorry for that, but we feel like,
no, I don't think it's just me.
Yeah.
I think that, when you have people that have lived here for 40 years and they have a trailer sitting out behind their house. And all of a sudden you gotta, you gotta put a hard surface on that, which absolutely did nothing.
there's rules that haven't been enforced and now they're being enforced. And unfortunately, a lot of people are going to be upset about that. And I don't know what to tell those people other than these are the rules and we're going to ask you to follow them from now on. So.
I mean, I guess as long as something gets done with mine, if the city, if it's a two-way street, where the city will take care of my problem, then I'll take care of that problem.
Well, we'll discuss that item at another date, but we've already given you legal notice to follow our ordinances, so we're gonna move forward with that, and there's not gonna be any quid
Okay, so,
pro quo for anything, so.
So what's the,
So if there's no other new concerns on nuisance properties, then I'd say it's time for us to move on. So anybody else
What's
have
the
anything on
timeline?
nuisance? What's that?
the timeline?
The timeline?
Yeah.
That's something for you to work out with Nikki.
We just asked
That's
you
all.
to give us a plan, and you said you would, so just give us a plan, tell us when you can get it done.
So I mean, if I just wanted, if the trailer itself is sitting on a hard surface. So I have a rock.
That's all we're asking.
Tires.
That's all we're asking is parked on a hard surface, which could be rocks. And I thought this was clearly explained to you. So
Is that rock underneath the tire? That's it.
that's what I've told you 3 times already in the meeting. My understanding was that Nikki told you this a month ago. So I don't know why we're going over this over and over again.
No, because it's not, there's nothing to find out.
Not understand when she told you that.
General,
Did you not understand when she told you about the rocks the first time?
because if I would have went and put a 3x3 patch where the tires sit.
That was a pretty simple yes or no question.
No, I
I
didn't.
understand what I wanted you to do.
No,
Do you understand now?
well, that's why I'm trying to clarify.
Do you understand now what we
I
want?
understand if I put a 3x3 patch of rock
We
underneath the
want
tires.
trailers parked on a hard surface.
Okay,
That's all we're asking.
all right, so then that's clear.
Okay.
I mean, it didn't have to be all drug out. I mean, I just asked the 3x3 area is good enough where the tires sit.
Parked on a hard surface.
All
That's
right,
what we're asking. So
all right.
I'm sorry. I didn't want this to get to this point where.
No, I don't either, but I mean, I want, when I turn this in, I don't want to get, oh, well, we're not gonna do this, we're not gonna do that.
I think it's pretty simple. Parked on a hard surface includes rocks. So if it's parked on rocks, that's what we're asking. That's all we're asking.
And gravel, you said gravel was good too?
Gravel, rocks are the same thing.
I did not,
Okay.
but you asked.
All right. I mean, I'm not trying to go out and spend $400 or $500
At the end of the
on
day,
a rock.
at the end of the day, we just want things look presentable in this town. That's what.
And I get that, it looks presentable now. It was my issue with that. And this is not gonna change.
Yeah.
So basically, I'm wasting money is my problem.
Well,
That's my whole
you say
problem.
we got ordinances and rules.
And I understand it. I understand why there is some of these. You don't want somebody parking a camper in their front yard for 6 months. I understand that.
It's not easy to enforce the rules fairly and make sure everybody follows the rules, and make everybody feel like they're treated fairly. It's not easy. So
But I mean, and I also think at the same time, you look at certain situations and you go, okay, I get what this guy's doing over here. I understand it. He keeps it up. It looks fine.
but it's not like you've told us you're going to build a building there eventually or a house or residence,
Oh, there is.
It's been,
I mean,
well, we all know what needs to be done. So
all right,
you can present Nikki with your plan. That's all we're asking at this point.
okay. Well, there'll be rock underneath the tires of the trailer.
All right.
You can call during office hours and we can talk about it. Thank you.
Thanks for your time. Travis and Gordon, do you guys have anything on the parks report?
Catherine, totally finished or still waiting for
I'm
us?
waiting on a couple of things.
Oh my.
He said if it didn't show up today, I have another option for him, so hopefully by the end of the week, we're done.
I don't know if anybody's seen the pictures of the paint job in there. Did we talk about this last meeting?
No, it looks good.
Paint job really looks nice.
Yeah, you go on Facebook maybe.
Yeah.
Definitely brightened it up a lot.
Right.
I didn't have anything else other than what's on the agenda, upcoming items. Travis, I don't know if you had anything else.
I haven't talked to Carrie about the dog park this month, but because the original plan was to have the things wrapped up by September 1st. I have not talked to her to know for sure. So I will have to wait and follow up for that next meeting.
Anybody have any questions on the library report?
We do have their budget requests in here, so we can.
We can plug those in our next meeting. All right. Let's move on to item C, discussion and possible approval of signing off on environmental provision of agreement with John Odell. There we go. Okay. So Tim, have you had a chance? Or did we just get this late? The request from,
When we talked about, this is the, those lots that they're buying that. Clause about the environmental concerns.
Because the agreement's been signed, right?
His lawyers just advised him to maybe get an addendum from us releasing. The environmental.
Right. I mean, if there's any concerns about any environmental assessments or environmental concerns. If there's reason to believe, in good faith, there's no concern, we get signs and they say that the best of the village's knowledge and consent. There is none, I think that would be fine.
John, you don't have any concerns, you know, do you?
Environmental concern, let's get checked out.
That purchase of that property?
It's like if he moves the trailers out, do you think there's gonna be anything we find under the environmental? I don't know what it would be.
Like snakes.
I'm sure there's gonna be snakes in there.
Not snakes. I don't think that's what we're talking about.
Like use propane bottles and.
Yeah.
I think that's up to him to get rid of that stuff.
Yeah, that's gonna be his.
Pretty clear of all.
My understanding is we have a signed agreement now, so as soon as he wants to get the check, he can clean off the property and I guess.
He's the seller, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean,
Clear of everything. I mean, it should be.
he's the one representing there's no environmental concerns. He is the seller, so
well, my verbal discussion
it's
with,
his responsibility.
my verbal discussion was with him was to remove the trailers from the property.
Yes.
So he may want to stick with a point at cleaning up a shed or something, but you know, I don't know that that would be a huge issue. And I suppose, you know, we can, if we feel he's satisfied the contract, we can pay him the money and we can, if we feel the need to give him some addendum, we can do that, I suppose.
I think the expectation was, and I recall it, was that you remove all the property before he's paid.
What's the plan?
Yeah.
He was asking for,
His lawyer's concern was that he would move those trailers out and the village would come back and say, oh no, there's this environmental hazard here that you need to clean up now before you can get paid for this.
So item B under 11 says the purchaser's right to inspect. The purchaser is entitled to make an environmental assessment by complete inspection and investigation of the premises, either individually or by utilizing a third party. Said environmental assessment shall be made within 10 days of this purchase agreement. So if this was signed months ago, are we already too late?
We'll just find it.
Understood.
This was August 3rd
Yeah.
that he signed.
I think it does say 10 days, but I mean, I think if you want to have an environmental assessment, you could demand that, but if you don't think it's going to be an issue, if you removes, what's on the property?
Two trailer houses
Trailer houses?
been abandoned since the flood,
And
probably.
I think there's a shed there too. So as long as the shed's not full of oil barrels or something,
Chemicals.
yeah.
And,
but he'd still have to take those with him, right? We're
Yeah.
talking something in the ground where
yeah.
contamination, where we have to take
Something
it.
underground.
I'm worried I'm worried about the shed because I told him the only thing we want the trailers removed. So I'm worried he may be able to come back on that statement. I don't know what our contract says at the beginning.
That's just upon full removal of mobile homes.
So,
Titles under deed on the first page.
mhm. So we may have to clean up a shed. So, John, I guess maybe we should go down there and look in the shed, make sure that shed's not gonna be a concern.
Yeah, just do that.
And
Go in there and look at it.
how about if we do that next Monday?
That's fine.
Okay,
I mean, I would just say clear the property
Yeah.
free of everything. If you, if
Yeah.
that's
yeah, yeah.
free of everything.
Maybe we can get somebody to come take a free shed on the curb.
Not for the shed on the
Yeah.
curb. Having a hard enough time getting that curb.
So, let's hope he just takes care of it. But yeah, we'll go down and inspect it Monday. And if there's any concerns, we'll bring it to the board. Otherwise, I think we can say, we don't see anything with our inspection. As long as the board is okay with me and John making that inspection and making an uneducated. Try and do that next Monday if you're around, John. And item D, discussion and possible approval of ordering panel mats for the auditorium walls.
Yes. So Nikki, John was talking with Travis about this, maybe. I know it's, those mats have Eagle logos on them right now, but maybe if we purchase some that are a little maybe muted so that.
I don't think that.
We actually had them remove the design from the bids,
Good. What
which
kind?
is why one of these was the highest one and now it's the lowest one.
Okay. Good.
Because there's no reason to have any kind of logo
I
on
don't-
this.
I think it'd be better since it's kind of more of a multi-purpose area. What color would these be now then?
Should we get white to match the new wall?
We did not get them a specific color, maybe like a gray or something that's
Okay,
not going to ruin wedding pictures.
that's exactly, yeah. You don't want a big eagle in the back of your wedding picture. Okay,
Well, white would also show stains.
yeah.
But something neutral and
Okay.
something hopefully that people don't feel like they have to cover up when they have
Yes,
events and
agreed. All right. I'll make a motion to accept the bid from Sports Graphics for $1,889 for the purchase of protective mats for the stage and the wall.
A second.
We have a motion and a second for purchase of panel mats for the auditorium walls. If there's no further discussion, let's vote on that motion.
Gordon McGee.
Aye.
Travis Kramer.
Aye.
Scott McCorney.
Aye.
Paul Kraus.
Aye. Item E, discussion and possible approval of adding a Wi-Fi system in the auditorium.
So now that we're gonna have fiber internet down there, we can
Might as well have a Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi. My concern that I got this bid from audio video almost a year ago, so it might be slightly more now. We think we'd be acceptable to approve an amount slightly higher than this invoice. I don't know if that's acceptable or not.
You want to say,
Not to exceed.
yeah, I don't want to give them a blank check.
No, I don't either.
Well, we can just ask for an
Updated,
updated bid,
yeah.
and if it's over that, we.
Let's ask for an updated quote, maybe approve up to 1,000. Is that how we should do it, do you think?
Yeah, I don't know how much prices could have possibly increased.
Not 100, no.
That would be 10% if we went 1,000. You think that would be enough of a safety margin? Yeah, I know.
Well, you know what, if it's more than that, there's still time to vote again next month and maybe still get it done this way.
Is the install of it? It can't be that difficult to install it, I wouldn't think. So if it does, we could just purchase the equipment. And Tyler and I, with the help of you and Travis could probably
You guys,
solve this.
we could do the program and setup, you think, too?
How would, Travis, do you think that?
I don't think they're complicated, but I've not done one
I
like
wouldn't
this.
think they'd be terribly complicated, but if that, if it went above it, is what I.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure we can figure it out.
Yeah, that sounds good.
So let's all make a motion to accept the bid from audio video for a Wi-Fi service at the auditorium in the library and not to exceed $1,100.
I'll second that.
A motion and a second. There's no further discussion. Let's vote on that motion.
Travis Kramer,
Aye.
Scott McCorney,
Aye.
Gordon McGee.
Aye.
Paul Kraus.
Aye. Anything new on the cemetery committee?
Oh, nothing really to report. We're looking into some of these fab little storage sheds. Probably meet with the vets. I never got around to seeing when they're gonna meet next to see what their wishes are out there too, maybe, but
Yeah,
seem pretty affordable, I think.
I think that's gonna look better than a Connex box or whatever. All right. Item G, what do you have for us on the clerk report, Nikki? Anything exciting?
Out of meetings.
When's your last leadership meeting? In November?
November is the graduation lunch. November, December.
I don't know if you guys have all been keeping track of that, but there's a lot going into that. I think it's been good for, I feel like it's been good
It's been
for
really good.
making good connections in the county. So it's a lot of time away from your desk once a month, but I think it's gonna be invaluable experience.
These last two were only, I think, 2 weeks apart, so that was a little tricky. but
Yeah. Anybody have anything on the permit report they wanted to bring up or? Add 50 additional users, there we go. If there's nothing on the permit report, then discussion and possible approval of adding an additional 50 users for front desk at a cost of $300 a year. And where does this put us at for users then?
We are at 385 right now, so we'll be at 450.
So one more jump would probably cover most of our water bill customers.
We have 516 meters that we read, but a lot of those are the same users, so.
So we could do this once or twice again, probably, but it shouldn't be anytime terribly soon.
We just don't want to we were getting close enough to 400 that we didn't want to get caught without space for people, so.
Yeah. Does anybody want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the additional 50 users for front desk at the cost of $300 per year.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for the approval of adding 50 additional front desk users for $300 a year. There's no further discussion. Let's vote on that motion.
Travis Kramer,
Aye.
Scott McCorney,
Aye.
Gordon McGee,
Aye.
Paul Kraus.
Aye. And we need to approve the budget preparation services agreement. I think this is something our auditor noticed we need to do. So we just need to approve Rick Ortmeyer to be our budget operation service.
Just pretty much outlines that he's gonna do it, doesn't it?
Yes, it's just so we have an agreement saying
He's gonna do
that
it.
we did ask him to prepare a budget.
I'd motion to approve the agreement for budget preparation services from Rick Ortmeyer.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. If there's no further discussion, let's vote on that motion.
Scott McCorney,
Aye.
Gordon McGee,
Aye.
Travis Kramer,
Aye.
Paul Kraus.
Aye. Item 7G, discussion about village hall office hours. I don't feel like we actually really came up with anything concrete.
These.
Back to the audio video thing. Are you gonna contact them then?
I can't, you know,
I mean, you've been talking to them
Yeah.
anyway, so
and then I'll just get
just let them,
it.
give them my number. Maybe you can.
I think I put 2 weeks in your guys' packet, but we tracked last week and then today too for foot traffic. Because I think it's hard for you guys to know physical bodies that come into our office and when
So basically, you're not getting much traffic from 4 to 5 is what you're showing on any day. So my suggestion would be to mirror the courthouse hours. Is that what hours would you like to see?
I think 8 to 4 is plenty. I mean, nobody comes in after 4 and that way
That's-
Kate doesn't feel like she has to stay late if I go and.
And that's open earlier than the courthouse. Courthouse opens at 9, right? 9 to 4:30? Yeah,
But one of us is here at 8. We're asking.
so I think this is good that we've got documentation on when people are coming in.
The
What do you guys
courthouse is,
feel?
it's 8 to 4:30 is the courthouse.
Okay. I just think we're open at 8, but
That's what this says anyways. I don't know if it's true.
We.
why don't we make sure this works for a month from 8 to 4, if you guys are okay with that? And then we can change our door after a month or so and make sure this is gonna work for us. Make sure nobody has any objections to this. Are you guys okay with 8 to 4?
Yes, and I work at least 40 hours a week, but it's
Right.
usually at least till 5,
And what's Kate's schedule been?
8 to 4.
Okay.
He does not have to take a lunch. There's no state law. I promise we are not breaking the law.
Is the state law for breaks for hourly employees.
Half hour, right?
There are.
If there's
laws
safety
about this.
related jobs, like
No.
these guys, yes.
for hourly employees.
Okay, well,
I'd like it reviewed. Right, and I would prefer 8 to 4:30. I think we can match the county courthouse, and if that makes sense. That's what we discussed previously when we hired Kate. That was part of the discussion. Like after 4, if our door says we're closed at 3. Right?
right, but we unlock the door. I mean, people still walk up to the door and we let them in if they come, or we have it unlocked. I mean, they're not. It's like, whatever you guys decide is fine. Obviously.
We need to put up a temporary sign while we're trying this out. I mean, what do we want the hours to be? You said 8 to 4:30.
I thought that's what we had discussed previously. I may be wrong.
I think we went over it pretty quick is the thing. I don't know.
When we voted Kate, I know that we asked the question if we needed to vote the hours too, and we said we didn't have to, but I don't think we actually locked in an hour. I think we talked a lot about hours, but to be honest, I don't remember us locking in a time. So I'm going to be careful that in my head, I had at 4:30, but I don't think we locked in a time.
Okay.
So right now it's 3 o'clock. Is that what you're saying?
No, they've been
No,
going
we
until
kept it
4.
open until 4
Oh, where did 3 o'clock?
or
just come
5,
from?
actually.
3 o'clock is what's been on the door.
Oh, that's what's on the door.
It has
That's
been
what-
open until 5
Yeah.
for the last month or so.
Is there anywhere on our website where it says our hours? Okay.
9 to 3 is what it says for everywhere that our hours are. The hours of being.
Right.
We have a consensus on when we want it to be open. And is it fair that we don't have the time change on the door? I see what you're saying. If we've still got till 3 on the door, is it fair to track how many people are coming in when they think the office is closed? I don't know that that's going to change much if we did have a sign on the door.
Well, even 4 o'clock would be nice. That's an extra hour.
Both sides. Yeah, great. If we want to start there and see.
I can live with that.
I can live with that too. 8 to 4.
8 to 4.
Start with that, get the website updated, get the door updated. That way if we want to just.
Let's check into the lunch rules. Let's go until 4 for now. Check into the lunch hour
I
rules
checked into
and
them, so if one of you wants to check into it, that's fine.
Okay.
Go for it.
I can go for it. Have you checked into it? Okay, pardon me.
I can look into it too.
Thank you.
all right. Is there anything we missed? I don't think we skipped anything. If that's it, then I would
We
say
need to, as far as more budget talk on salary, like that, is that happening when?
are we gonna have do we need an extra meeting for budget before our budget meeting?
You need one, I'll schedule it.
Or I guess Jason can be here if we do have a.
At our next meeting, that's when we have to put those numbers in. So we can do it. Then, if everybody's okay with the items we discussed, I think maybe Travis and I can sit down to budget items.
The budget hearing is before the meeting.
Yeah,
Do you need to have numbers to Rick
Yeah, we're gonna have to have numbers to Rick. Do you guys want to sit down for another meeting? Or do you want maybe Travis and I to go over what we were doing was just filling in the blanks with, street estimates? Or do you guys want to schedule another meeting before our budget meeting?
I'm open either way.
I guess Jason's not here. We could go into executive session tonight and talk through some things if is that appropriate? Just to,
Can we do that without having it on the agenda
no,
tonight?
okay.
Okay. Why don't we see if we can get a hold of Jason tomorrow? Do you guys, let's pick a date that works for everybody here. And then we'll see if we can. Is that gonna make everybody more comfortable if we have another meeting?
I don't know. Yet, so I feel good at least having a conversation before we enter that final meeting.
I think we went over a lot of stuff, but it would be good to sit down and put in some of the final numbers that we've gotten from people.
Yeah.
What works best? Is it Mondays that work best for everybody? Wednesday? Thursdays?
I like midweek.
You'd like a Wednesday?
Yeah.
That's fine with me.
Nikki, is that okay for you?
Wednesdays are fine.
So what's the soonest we could do a Wednesday meeting and make publication? So the Wednesday before our next meeting, or no, 2 Wednesdays, yeah.
2 weeks from Wednesday is the 31st.
Let's, if that works for you guys, let's definitely schedule that.
Yeah.
Wednesday, the 31st. You email Jason in the morning and see if that works for him.
In the evening.
Yeah. Is it better for you if we go later than 6:30, Scott? Or earlier,
whatever.
later, whatever?
Whatever.
I'd say we just stick to 6:30 unless someone has an objection to that time.
I have to get this in the paper tomorrow to be able to do
Okay.
this, so hopefully.
If we've got 4 of us here, let's plan on it. If Jason can't get that one, we can get his input on. I'd say that puts us down to item 8, adjournment.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for adjournment. There's no further discussion. Let's vote on that motion.
Kramer?
Aye.
Scott Corning?
Aye.
Gordon Lee?
Aye.
Aye.